everyone. It's Matt Hansberger again here. I just wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite topics with respect to running a brokerage. This is the concept of what do you do for agents versus what do you teach your agents. And it really should be a fundamental part of your decision making in terms of building your value proposition for the agents that you're trying to attract to the brokerage, and then obviously the ones that you're trying to retain as well who are already working for you. It's not a concept that I think every broker owner consciously thinks of a lot, but it really is something that as you start to think about how you can add value into the agents' lives, it should form that fundamental part, like I say. So, the idea of do for versus teach how to do, it really goes down to your service offering. From our perspective at our brokerage, we consciously talked about this in 2014. So it's going back 7 years now, and it was a moment in time where we made a shift in what we were going to offer to agents who were coming to work with us. Essentially, the concept is that agents have real strengths, and then oftentimes they're burdened with some weaknesses as well. And it's not because they are bad people, it's not because they're disorganized, it's not because of any of that stuff. There's just a lot working against them with respect to just accomplishing some of these tasks that should make them really good agents. And I think it's our responsibility as a brokerage to help them be the best that they can possibly be. And when we made that decision that we were going to create a list of things that we were going to do on their behalf, it really changed the way in which we started to think about our value proposition here in the brokerage. And I'd encourage you to think about what you can do versus what you can just simply show them how to do. So what did we do? Well, the first thing we did was we just admitted that there were some things in the agent work environment that made it difficult for them to accomplish some tasks. It seemed to us like the tasks that were repetitive in nature, that were a little more administrative in nature, that were probably marketing type of tasks, they struggled with a lot. They're great salespeople, they're great people. The personality profile is the first thing that they probably struggle with here, where oftentimes if you use the DISC profile, agents are high D, high I, they're good, they're dominant personalities, they're very influential personalities. But D's and I's, as you would probably know if you've done any of this DISC training, are great at starting things, just great at coming up with ideas, but not great at bringing things across the finish line all the time. So that personality type that makes them great salespeople kind of holds them back when it comes to getting a newsletter out every month for 12 months straight. It holds them back from submitting their paperwork to the brokerage to get processed in a timely way. So we decided that one of the things we were going to do is just come up with a list of stuff that we could do, or we could bring in people who didn't necessarily have that high DI personality type, but were really good at getting things across the finish line on behalf of agents. The other thing that works against your agents a little bit is just simply the work environment. It's a lot easier to be doing repetitive tasks if you're going to the same place every day. But when you're an agent, you're often working out of your car, you're working out of your home one day and then the office the next, and Tim Hortons or any coffee shop the day after that. So it's really important to just recognize that it's going to be tough for them to do repetitive tasks that are good for their business, but just typically are hard to do when you don't have a sort of set work schedule there. And then the last thing I would say is that just simply it's hard to prioritize some of those things when you have the client-facing stuff coming at you all the time. So our agents who are really busy are constantly being bombarded with messages from their clients, and I think it's important to just recognize that that's probably going to always take priority, and the things that we know are good for their business that just sort of fall to the bottom of their to-do list will continue to fall to the bottom of the to-do list. So as an owner, what can you do? Well, what we did, and I'll just share my experience, is we took a piece of paper out one day and we drew a line down the middle. And we said, these are the things that we think we can do for them. These are the things that we know we can't, but we can teach them how to be better at. And it became really important for us to differentiate that. And every time we talk about a new service or a new thing that we want to add in, we decide, is this something we want to do for them, or is this something we want to teach them? A couple of important things to consider when you make that decision. First of all, be conservative with how quickly you think you can do things on behalf of agents. If you're going to do them for them, it can take time to really build that to the level that they're going to be comfortable with allowing you as the brokerage to do. Turning over that control is a thing that probably they'll want to make sure that you're going to do it the way that they would before they do. Secondly, you have to make sure as a brokerage that you can monetize that enough in some ways that you can sustain it. If you're doing it for them, but there is no compensation back for you, then that's a path towards a bad place for you as a broker owner, not being profitable and really struggling with that. So keep that in mind for sure. All that considered though, when you start to think about the tasks that you can do for them, we considered obviously marketing tasks are things that we could do for them. We actually have introduced photography on behalf of our agents because we think that we can send people out who are better than them at that. We've got all kinds of services with respect to turning in paperwork and completing paperwork. All those things went into our value proposition as things we can do for them. The client-facing stuff, all we can do is teach them to be better at that. And so that's the stuff that we build our training program around. So as you start to think about your value proposition as a broker owner, think about what it is that you're willing to do on behalf of your agents or for your agents, and think about the things that just aren't going to fall into that category that you're going to have to teach them how to do and be better at so that you can help them grow their careers and be better at what they do. That's it for now. Thanks. I appreciate it. Take care.